back to RatG, Ryan's All Things Geek, right here on 103.7 FM, Brock University Radio. Or you can be listening to us live online at cfbu.ca.
Black Majic. You got to know, got to show, it's time to roll. So just tell me what you want to hear. Tell me what you want, so just tell me what you want.
All right, welcome to another edition of RatG Radio right here on 103.7 FM, CFBU, Brock University Radio. Right here in the heart of St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada, or you can be listening live anywhere in the world online at cfbu.ca. That's right, geeks, we are on the interweb, and we aim to please. I'm sitting here this week like I do every week from week to week with my co-host. He is back from his rock and roll adventures and everything.
It actually continues.
It
continues tonight, Niagara Falls, green jelly.
Oh my God. Little pig, let me in. Yes, folks, if you haven't heard of green jelly, go to YouTube, look up green jelly. I do suggest the Three Little Pigs. That's their most famous tune.
Little pig, let me in. By the hair of my chinny chin.
They're actually filming tonight, Niagara Falls, for their upcoming live DVD.
Oh, my Lord.
So,
this is going to be dangerous.
Yeah.
Niagara Falls, New York or Ontario?
Ontario, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. That's all right. Good on you, Southern Ontario. Good on you. So what else has been going on? How's your concert treks been going?
It's been going good. I'm almost done with the road.
Yeah, or is the road almost done with you?
Yeah, it might be a little bit of both.
Yeah, I could see that coming to our old elderly age that we are now. Well, that's awesome, man. And it's been a good week so far. How was your Canada Day?
Good. I spent most of it on the road. Went up to Kingston to pick a friend up. But
nice. Shout out Papo.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it's good to have him back in the area.
For sure.
And then today, to all our American friends out there, happy Independence Day. Happy 4th of July. This is the day that every geek site in the world posts a picture of Captain America punching Hitler in the face. For that, we do love you, comic book world. Yeah. But so are you doing anything for fireworks tonight, or are you going to a friendship festival or anything like that?
No, I'll be checking out Green Jelly in Niagara Falls, and then probably head back to Welland and maybe an early night.
Oh.
Tomorrow's the last day of my vacation, so.
Oh, well, if tomorrow's the last day, you better enjoy it tonight then.
Yes, I will. Most definitely.
Well, that's good, buddy. So yeah, Green Jelly, that's quite the different band there.
They are, they set out to be the worst band in the world.
And did they achieve this?
Well, I'm pretty sure them and Gwar fought it out for probably the better part of 2 decades. So, but yeah, they're definitely up there.
We're not going to, unfortunately, see any more Gwar, though.
Actually, they have a new lead singer now.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, they replaced Odorous Ungress with a female Amazon lead singer. She is Marge. Yes.
Wow. Well,
not quite as scary as Odorous, but
I don't think anyone was scary as Odorous.
Dave Brocky, of course, his real name.
Yeah. Nice. Well, good on Gwar for keeping the thrills alive. That's the least way of putting it. And as per usual, folks are going to see shortly all of our radio shows that we do are now being filmed by Wildbunnyhair Photo Studios. Man, did I ever butcher that, but that's okay. Mr. Robert Goldie is our cameraman. He's been following us around, and he's been doing my interviews for us at Comic-Con and things like that as well. So I want to say a big shout out to them. And when we get the video up, you'll see right here, right where I'm pointing now, there's going to be a little way to get a hold of the right name of their studio. I got the first part right, the Wild Bunny Hair. Right? Right. All right. That's what we do here. And I would like to give a special shout out to one of our listeners, Aiden, if you're out there. Just want to say thanks for tuning in each week, buddy. Glad to have you on board. Love that you listen to the show. Love that you make your mother listen to the show and that we are educating her in the way of the geeks. Wendy, you will be a great geek one day, I promise. And that's a shout out from your two blood or ketchup brothers from from
oh
kindergarten.
My God, that's too funny. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, back in the days, Steve, myself, and a couple of the neighborhood girls that lived there. We're all a little too afraid to do blood brothers and sisters. We didn't want to cut ourselves, so we did ketchup brothers and sisters. And yeah, we were very cool like that.
Yes.
Jeez, we did Ouija, everything back then.
Oh yeah, we even had our own radio show.
That's right, we did. One day we will bring back the squirrel song, just not today. We'll do that late night one night. But yeah, so big shout out to Aiden and to your mom Wendy for listening. Thanks a lot, guys. We really do appreciate the support. And Stephen Hodges, I know you're out there and you're listening while at work. So thanks a lot for making all the patrons of your 7-Eleven in somewhere in California listen to our show. What up, Sev? Is that what the kids say? What up?
True
that. Right proper. So yes, anyways. So I figure with all that being said, I guess there's only one thing left to do, and that's This Week in Geek. And this week in Geek, we had quite a few things, but not as much as we did last week. Ran pretty long. But this week, we're going to let Steve get us all started there. And what you got for us for our first story?
Well, we have a new musical possibly headed to Broadway soon.
Oh, please do tell.
Well, the daughter of longtime 007 producer Mary Saltzman, is putting together a 007 musical.
Oh, wow. I could see this just being as great as the U2's Spider-Man musicals.
Oh, yeah. That was great.
Why? Why in the world are we having a James Bond musical?
I don't know. She said that the musical will contain many of the favorite Bond villains from over the years, including maybe a few new ones and a new Bond girl.
Ooh, nice.
So all those Bond fanatics have that to look forward to.
So what Bond villains would you want to see in there? Obviously, Octopussy's going to be in there.
Yeah, got to have Jaws.
Dr. No.
Dr. No, yeah.
What was it? Top Hat guy.
Oh, yes.
I forgot his name. Double name, though. Where's Will Mahoney when you need him? But yeah, no, there's a lot of villains to choose from in there. But geez, a James Bond musical?
Yeah, I don't know. Of course, also later this year we'll have the new Daniel Craig Bond movie, Spectre.
Right. So. Yeah, and that one, I'm hoping it's better than the last two. His first Bond movie was fantastic, and the next two are just really slow movies.
So is this it for Daniel Craig, you think?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I know people want to tout him as the best Bond or the best of the newest Bonds. I don't really see it. I find he's the most aggressive of the Bonds because they took a serious tone with Bond this time around. And they did that, they said, specifically because of the Austin Powers movies.
Oh, yeah.
Because Austin Powers just made James Bond look like a joke because everything was jokey and stuff. So I read an interview with Daniel Craig where they said they made an effort to make sure that it was never viewed as a comedy or jokey or cornball. So
yeah, I never growing up watching like the Timothy Dalton ones, I never got that feeling from those movies.
But you know what? There was always the jokes and the humor in it, and that was part of Bond's charm, though. Yeah. You know, that's who he was. The Roger Moore era, that's all it was. You know, joke after joke and sexual innuendo after sexual innuendo. You know, which no, folks, is not an Italian suppository, as we've went over before. But yeah, no. Well, I guess we'll wait and see how it turns out. You know, yeah. Bond the musical for our eyes only. All right. Well, in other news, and this wasn't so much this week. Just with the way everything's been going lately, we hadn't talked about it before, so I wanted to bring it up, was Jerry Seinfeld speaking out lately about how he's refusing to do colleges now, saying that it's far too politically correct out there to be playing any venues especially in the college circuit, because we're in that era of, people are offended by absolutely anything and everything, which we're going to get to the second half of the show. Our show today is actually going to be heavily focused on political correctness nowadays. And he's had a lot of comedians come up and stand up for him and say the same for him. Mm-hmm. I don't blame him at all, man. Not that he was actually ever playing college circuits. Let's be honest there. His days of playing the colleges are long over before Seinfeld, the series, started, I'm sure.
And I'm not too familiar with his stand-up, but I've always perceived him as
clean.
Kind of clean, right? So, a guy like, Artie Lang, who you'd mentioned had stood up for him, saying, he agrees with Jerry and saying, the colleges are
well, Chris Rock, Artie Lang,
Jim Brewer, all those guys do the college circuit,
and they all stood up for Seinfeld, saying the same thing. They're not going to be doing the colleges, and you can't blame them either, because the way that social media works nowadays and the way social outcry just spreads like wildfire, you say one thing that's misconstrued or not taken as a joke, even though you're a comedian telling jokes. You say that one joke that offends everybody, and you're Michael Richards.
Yeah, I had said that earlier this week on Facebook. I had mentioned that, I think people have always been easily offended. It's just we live in the day and age now where anybody has a platform to, go global and recruit other people to their cause and rally around it, right? Mm-hmm. So.
No, I don't know, man. It's... Like I said, we're going to get into this a lot in the second half of the show, talking about the state of the world nowadays with the political correctness, and we've got a lot of comments on that too. So we will be getting to that. If you guys have a comment on political correctness, and especially we're going to be talking about the Dukes of Hazard being pulled from TVLand. So if you guys have any thoughts about that, feel free to go to our page, Ryan's All Things Geek, or go to our group, RatG Radio, RatG Radio Group, and send us an invite and leave us your comment there. Or if you're a friend of mine, just feel free to leave a comment on my page, and we'll get to it on here online as well, or on air, I should say. But yeah. So that's pretty much it. What else you got this week?
Well, this weekend in Chicago, there's a series of concerts. The Deadheads reunite for one final performance.
Truckin'.
Yeah.
Nice.
Grateful Dead, of course, surviving members will be playing Soldier Field this weekend. Soldier Field was the site of the last Grateful Dead concert before we lost Jerry. I actually had tickets to see them at the C&E grounds in Toronto.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and I think he died like about 2 weeks before the show.
Wow.
Never a big Dead fan, but it was one of those bands you had to see,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, my cousin went to go see them, I think maybe a few months before they died. She said it was great.
Yeah.
She said she really loved the balloons there.
I heard tickets for this weekend's show, series of shows. I think there was 3 in Chicago. I heard they were going for upwards of $5,000 on StubHub.
What? Okay, but I can understand if Jerry Garcia came back from the dead.
Right? Where's Jim Brewer in his little bag there?
Like $5,000 for kind of a cover band? I'm sorry, I'm not paying that much. You don't see Sublime with Rome charging crazy numbers, and Rome is the closest you're ever going to get to oh my God, I can't remember his name. Bradley Knowles, that passed away, from the lead singer from Sublime. So crazy, I tell you, this is crazy talk. Well, what are you going to do, though, right?
Yeah.
Tis the world we live in. Well, from that to some happy news, we could all start saying, na 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 na, na 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 na, hey hey hey, goodbye.
Are you talking about the Phil Kessel trade?
No.
Oh.
And you know what? If we could just talk a little sports for a second there. The Phil Kessel trade, oh my God, he's going to score 50 goals this year. He's going to score. I don't care if he's playing beside Crosby or Malkin. He's going to score. If he doesn't score 50, he's going to score 40. And I mean high 40s. this is a crazy deal. And to think that the Leafs gave him away for a bag of pucks and they're still paying part of his contract. Wow. That together with signing a coach for your highest paid player is someone who will never be on the ice.
I called this trade the second Babcock signed with the Leafs. I knew that he would not be able to fall under Babcock's regimen.
Oh, no, not
no
at
way.
all. No, he's not disciplined enough. But I think, like I said, he's a 30-goal scorer when he's got no
Leafs.
help. When he's got
No
no
offense,
help.
Leaf fans. I know they're all going to be outside my house when I get home. So
Yeah, sorry, Leaf fans, but you suck. No. But yes, sorry. Part of being a geek, though, is geeking out to everything. And one of my geekiest passions always has been sports.
yeah.
I'm a diehard Sabres fan, just for anyone listening. So, yeah, we're going to win the cup in 3 years. Jack Eichel, baby.
And I already seen Jack Eichel out at the local hospitals in Buffalo doing charity work.
Yeah, he's got his head on straight. And he played in the Worlds with men and he even playing at Boston College, he's playing with a lot older, men, as opposed to Connor McDavid was playing with his peers. I'm not saying that makes Eichel better because obviously, Connor McDavid's the next Gretzky, people are saying. We will see. But anyways.
They said the same thing about Eric Lindros.
Don't get me started on Lindros. This is going to be a totally different show. We're going to have to get a second show just for sports, I tell you. No, what I was singing about the na-na-na-na, hey, good, bye-bye. That's right. NBC, thankfully, said to the Dawn, you're fired. You're fired. I love it. They canceled The Apprentice, and they've canceled
Miss America.
Miss USA. And, yeah, good. Just the Donald, if it wasn't for, and it had people right away are just because, it's a liberal ploy because he's running to be president. It's not that at all. When he's running for president, the first thing he declared was, I'm not even going to get into it, but the stuff he said about Mexico, come on. You're trying to...
You have to know that a guy like Lorne Michael is just salivating at the thought of Trump being president, right? That is material coming out the wazoo for 4 years right there.
And what does Lorne Michael's care? He's Canadian anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Mr. Trump is gone, thankfully. So, I don't know. Do you have a problem with that, or are you all right with that? I know he had a lot of followers. His show was a big show. It was a ratings grab for them.
I did watch The Apprentice. I wasn't a fan of I would watch The Celebrity Apprentice, right? I never really started watching it until The Celebrity Apprentice shows, and he was the thing I liked least about the show.
Yeah.
I would always fast forward through the boardroom just to see who got fired.
And was he on the show, honestly, all that much? Aside
Not
from
really,
just at the end?
Maybe, the boardroom and maybe 5 minutes at the beginning telling them what their task was or whatever. But
craziness, I tell you. Craziness right across the board. But like I said, it's he's one of those polarizing figures, though. And it had to be really bad for NBC to pull one of their biggest shows, though. And that's the only way I could look at it, He's only got himself to blame, really. But yeah, and that's it for that. What about you? You got one more story there?
Yeah, I got one more story. A little nostalgic for kids of our generation. Raccoons, the old cartoon there. I know it was one of your favorites, Ryan. Kevin Gillis, the creator, says fans have been coming up to him for years saying, why don't you reboot Raccoons? I would love to watch it with my kids. And he's finally putting pen to paper and working out a reboot. So
I'm not going to lie. That was one of the creepiest shows when I was a kid. I hated the Raccoons. For those of you listening abroad in Europe or in the U.S., just... go to YouTube, look up Raccoons Canadian cartoon, and you will see the creepiness ensue.
That was part of our Sunday afternoon, right? It was Green Forest.
Oh, another... we had some of the creepiest cartoons that have ever been made.
Pingu,
another one. That penguin was... But I'm not sure that Pingu was Canadian. I think that was actually an American show.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm not positive.
I know it was on TVO. That's where I remember watching it, so...
along with the chalk line guy.
Yes, he was classic.
Yeah, he was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, so that's what we do. We bring nostalgia back to you folks because that's what we do in This Weekend Geek. So with all that said, folks, we are going to hit our first break of the afternoon, and then when we come back, we're going to get into a little bit of this politically correctness stuff, give you a little bit of the backstory on everything that's going on with TVLand and the Dukes of Hazard being pulled. We'll take some of your comments and questions, and then, of course, we'll get to everybody's favorite 5-second movie review.
And we have a special guest sitting in the green room today.
We do have a special guest, and it's fantastic. I can't believe that we were able to get him here today. So you're just going to have to wait and listen to see who we are talking about. Just want to remind you are listening to RatG Radio right here on 103.7 FM CFBU, Brock University Radio right here in the heart of St. Catharines, Ontario, or you can be listening live online anywhere in the world at cfbu.ca. And with that, folks, we'll be right back. All right, welcome back to RatG Radio right here on 103.7 FM CFBU, Brock University, or you can be listening live online anywhere in the world at cfbu.ca. And as you know, folks, we are on the web. If you want to look us up on our Facebook page, that's Ryan's All Things Geek, Ryan's All Things Geek on Facebook, or you can look us up at our radio group and become more of a part of the discussion. And that's RatG Radio Group, RATG Radio Group. Send us an invite. We'll let you in. That's what we do because, we need all the friends we can get. And I'm sitting here as I do from week to week with my co-host, the one, the only, Mr. Steve Lambert.
How's it going, everybody?
Pretty good. And how are you, my friend?
I'm doing good.
So, this Dukes of Hazard debacle. So, for those that don't know, over the last few months, but really just over the last few weeks, honestly, it's come to light. There's been a big brouhaha over the Confederate flag, where it flies and how it flies. So it's been taken down from, political buildings and from different state capitol monuments and things like that. I can understand that. No problem. What I don't understand is TVLand pulling one of the greatest shows of all time, the Dukes of Hazard, off of the air because of the Confederate flag on top of the car. Why not just, I heard people talk about they were going to CG out the flag, but it's still called the General Lee. It was still the leader of the Confederate Army. I just don't like where we're heading right now. We are so politically correct now. We are so easily offended nowadays that this is really, really, I think, getting out of hand.
It is.
And the fact that they're going to cancel a show like this. What's next? Archie Bunker?
I mean, that's what I was just going to say. I mean, isn't half of TVLand's programming from the 70s?
Yeah.
The most
Dick
racist era in television?
Right? I just, to me, it just really, really baffles me. And to ignore history as well, seems short-sighted and, for lack of a better word, asinine. Like, really, what are we thinking? Who are we becoming nowadays where this is an everyday occurrence? I applaud everybody for what has happened in the States for getting gay rights and the right to be married. Applause to everybody for that. That was a good cause to stand up for and something great to be politically correct about. Good for everyone in the LGBT community for this great accomplishment. Obamacare, finally it's been set, like it's there now. There's nothing anybody can do about it. Congratulations to those people that stood up for things like that. But now it seems you've got these two things out of the way, and it's like, what next can we rally against? Are we a nation or two nations or just in an era where we constantly need something to rally against?
Yeah, it seems like anytime there's not a war going on, people are scrambling for something to...
And there's still war going on. Like, social media has given too big of a platform to social outcry. Social outcry, it seems, no matter how insignificant it is, if you cry hard enough and you have enough followers, you can spread your message of hate, your message of offense to anyone in the world. And it just goes, like I said, too quickly, like wildfire. And I don't know how we stop it. I don't know, man. Where are you on this?
It's tough for me because I am one of those people that I am offended by nothing.
Right.
Absolutely nothing. I take everything for what it is, man. It's,
Well, that's not true, because that one time I said something about Steve Eiserman, you were pretty upset.
Yeah, well, he's a traitor now, so.
Yeah, so it's all good. It's all good now. That was actually it. I was just saying how much better he's doing in Tampa Bay now than he was in Detroit. Ooh, all right. Yes, send all your hate mail to... Yeah, just keep sending it to Well and Wignut.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for my first piece of hate mail.
Well, you might get it after the Phil Kessel comments today, so... Especially once they find out you're a Wings fan.
Yeah, what's going on? I got Eiserman over in Tampa building a contender. Now I have Babcock in Toronto building a contender.
Whoa.
I want back to the West. I want to go back to the West.
Wait a second, though. We don't know that Toronto's a contender
Potential.
yet.
Potential.
They've got a $50 million coach and no money left for anybody else. So we'll see.
It's Air Canada. They're loaded.
I think they're still going to be finished 7th to 10th like they do every year.
They're definitely not going to be the playoffs for the next 3 seasons at least.
No. But yeah, that's a nice way to kind of forget about all that hate and vitriol I was just feeling for TVLand and the Dukes of Hazard. Yeah.
I mean, it's right in the song. They're just some good old boys.
Never meaning no harm. I know. And I really think TV Land should be ashamed of themselves. And I was looking up, I haven't seen, and I don't know if you have, any kind of response from TV Land yet because to me, I think we've seen more outcry for the show being pulled than the outcry we saw for everyone wanting to bring the...
So now it's time for us to stand up and rally against TV Land, right?
Is that it? Is that the only way to stop the rallying of everything, is to rally against rallies?
I think that is what we're going to have to do.
Yeah. It's kind of annoying. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie at all. But you know what? You know what eases my mind and makes me feel better? Is the fact that we're heading into the bottom of the hour, which means it's time for our 5-second movie review. And we're going to have our special guest in with us today, and they're going to do the 5-second review. I don't know, Steve, if you want to introduce them to everybody.
Yeah, so you might know him as the former governor of California.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Jesse Ventura? Oh, no, that was Minnesota.
That was Minnesota, yes. Mr. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, my God.
Hello, Ryan. Hello. It's good to be on your show.
Oh, wow. Well, thanks for coming in, Mr. Pumping Iron himself.
No problem.
This is awesome. What brings you to the Niagara region?
I just came back from Cuba. We're allowed to fly to Cuba now, so I fly to Cuba and got some cigars and.
I see. Well, just so you know, you can't smoke those in here. And
so I should put this out.
You know what? You do what you got to do. Do what you got.
All right.
So, what do we have this week for our 5-second movie review?
I am going to review my big, super fantastic smash box office summer hit, Terminator.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Maggie. Oh, too soon? That one still hurts a little? Sorry. Okay, well, you know the rules. You know how this goes. We're going to give you 5 seconds, and you get to review your new movie, Terminator Genisys, which you and my co-host Steve Lambert also have seen. So whenever you're ready, champ, it's all you.
So my new Terminator Genisys is Sarah Connor, and John Connor sends John McClane Jr.
Right, well, that's all the time we have today. Thank you very much to Arnold Schwarzenegger for coming in here this week and doing his great review for that great movie, Terminator Genisys.
But I didn't even get to talk about John McClane Jr. and Daenerys Targaryen trying to save the world.
Yeah, I'm so sorry about that. We've got a time limit, and That just reminds me, you folks are listening to RatG Radio right here on 103.7 FM, CFBU Brock University, or you can be listening live online anywhere in the world at cfbu.ca. That's right, folks. We are on the interweb, and that was, I don't know, that was just crazy. I'm still trying to figure out how a man who can't pronounce California can be the governor of California. We'll just save that for another day. So yeah, I'm sitting here with my co-host Steve Lambert. We just kicked the governor out of here. And you know, we've been talking about how politically correct we are and just how crazy things have gotten as of late. Stephen Hodges he did a post today, and basically to sum things up, he says we're kind of heading into 1984, you know, the book, not the year. And, you know, are we heading into that Orwellian society? You know, is our political correctness leading us into a further state of, you know, is it pushing us even farther under the hand of Big Brother, you know? Because we keep asking for everything that's slightly offensive to be taken off the board to protect us. Every time I see something like this, I always get a flash in my head of the Reverend's wife from The Simpsons. Won't somebody please think of the children? You know.
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
And we're there, right? Like that society right now is the church lady, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's just I just don't get it. I'm one of those people that I'm offended by nothing. I mean, you know, Family Guy is one of my favorite shows, and I remember seeing an interview with Seth MacFarlane.
Yep.
Seth MacFarlane, right? Yeah, and he said, you know, he's like, we don't discriminate. We make fun of everybody equally.
And that's just it, right?
And it's humor, you know, and you have to take it for what it is. It's humor, and I think that's what we do as society, and you know we
have we lost that humor?
I think we're starting to. I'm not.
I'm wondering what that says for us, though, and for where we're heading in the future. I just want to hit up a couple comments we've had. Michael McPherson, longtime fan of the page, actually, says, "Yeah, we are going way overboard. I'm sure for years people just see the General Lee and go, oh man, I'm so offended, as it evaded dozens of cops and just be all around awesome. What's next? Take the Nazi flag out of Indiana Jones?"
I don't know. The only thing that offends me about the General Lee is that god awful orange.
I love that orange. I like literally love it. Like if I had a Dodge Challenger?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
If I had a Challenger, dude, I'm telling you, it'd be the same orange. I'd have the 01 on the side, and I'd have the Confederate flag. Yes, I'd be the only brother with a car with a Confederate flag on it, but I would have it because, oh yes, it will be mine. I'd also have the Knight Rider. But do we have to get rid of that? It's offensive to the nighttime people. It's offensive to knights.
It's offensive to knights.
That's right, because it wasn't N-I-G-H-T.
Yes, it was.
K-N.
Michael Knight.
Yes.
Knight.
And he was a little conniving at times. Don't ask. A little sleep last night. And then we have Rob Miller, another fan of the page. Good guy. Good all-around guy.
Hopefully I see him at Green Jelly tonight.
Another guy who doesn't get offended by anything.
No.
You cannot offend Rob Miller at all.
No.
Funny dude, too. Anyone old enough to watch Dukes reruns doesn't even think of the flag, really. It could be a 1973 Pinto with a Soviet flag painted on it jumping Mud Lake and would still have watched it. And he's absolutely right. I'm telling you, until maybe, you know what? Until the remake came out with Johnny Knoxville and Stifler.
Yeah.
Where they were driving through town and everyone was giving them grief about the Confederate flag. I never put two and two together until then. Like, I knew what the Confederate flag was. I knew what it kind of represented, but I I guess I watched it with childhood abandon, growing up. You just don't think of things like that. And I never really thought of it until the remake came out. And even then I was still, well, it's the General Lee, man. I love it. As long as Bo and Luke are there and they're jumping in through the window and shooting bow and arrows that have dynamite sticks attached to them, I'm all right. Yeah.
Now, which one of you two brothers is Michelangelo?
All's all good in the world. And yes, that's a proper sentence. James DeCao, he chimes in and says, is Hogan's Hero still being aired anywhere? Good question. I would believe it is. I haven't heard anything about it, but I would assume so. McHale's Navy.
Yeah.
Like we said, even the Jeffersons was steeped in racial, connotations all over the place. And the first biracial couple, the neighbors upstairs.
Yeah.
So Lenny Kravitz's mom wasn't that Lenny Kravitz's mom?
I think you might be right on that. Yeah.
Somebody will look that up for us. I'm sure Will Mahoney will be listening at some point today, won't you, Will? Yeah. So, and then Rob Miller follows up. He says Evel Knievel was basically a walking orangeless version of the Confederate flag, same era. So wipe him from the history books or Wikipedia. Take him out of the museums.
Let's wipe out Robbie Knievel first.
Please. He's not just a good old boy. And Rob Miller has a question for you, Steve. He wants to know if you're going to report on tonight's Green Jelly concert on a future show.
Yeah, I could do that. For
of course
sure.
you will. It's what we do for you folks.
Assuming I remember the Green Jelly show tonight.
Which there's no promises on that whatsoever. Yeah, so, and then we've got a few other comments here. One of my favorite comments comes from Julie Jones, and I'm just pulling it up here for you. Sorry, folks. She says, everybody is offended by everything. Society is full of a bunch of whiny crybabies that need their injustices to be heard. They need to build a bridge and get over it. You win the internet today, Julie Jones. You win. That is so well put and so unbelievably true. What is with the self-entitlement era that everyone thinks just because they're offended that makes them right, and that their offense should be everybody else's offense? I just don't get it. I know TV Land's going to recover from this. It's not like people are going to stop watching TV Land over them taking the Dukes off. But this has been a bit of a political nightmare. Not political, but
PR nightmare.
PR nightmare. It doesn't look good on the station at all. Is there a way to come back from this? Because this does set a dangerous precedent.
It does, and unfortunately, I think the damage is done. Mm-hmm. Aside from a total 180, and them TV Land putting the Dukes back on, saying we might have acted
jumped
too
the
soon.
gun.
Yeah,
knee jerk. Well, it was definitely a knee jerk reaction.
Was there pressure coming down on them? Like, was this just a decision that TV Land just made? Like,
I don't know that there was pressure put on them, because I never heard anything. And like I said, I still haven't seen a statement from TV Land in regards to this. Who I did get a statement from is Bo Duke himself. John Schneider had quite a few things to say about the matter. Okay, so he said, one of the things he said is the Dukes of Hazzard was and is no more a show seated in racism than Breaking Bad was a show seated in reality, which I think he's very right about. And a lot of people, are first thing they're going to say, oh, he's just saying that because he's worried about the residuals, the royalties he gets, he's going to be losing. He even spoke about that. He said the royalties have never been much to write home about. But he would like the show to persist because of the old-fashioned values it promotes, such as honesty, courage, chivalry, rebelliousness, and the like. He says, I am saddened that one angry and misguided individual can cause one of the most beloved television shows in the history of the medium to suddenly be seen in this light. Are people who grew up watching the show now suddenly racist? Will they have to go through a detox and a 12-step program to kick their Dukes habit? Hi, my name is John. I'm a Dukesaholic. Well said, and he's obviously pretty upset about the matter, and I think he should be,
Yeah, of course.
Because this is his name attached to that and his legacy.
I guess the only thing that really offends me or upsets me is that we're not ever going to get to see another Dukes of Hazard movie reboot with Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill.
Oh my God, that's the only saving grace. Oh my, why would you even do that? I was having such a good day. Like, even talking about all this stuff, and then you had to bring up Channing Tatum. Come on, man. Well, you know what? I'm just too flustered with that. I'm just going to have to go to our last break. We'll be right back after this. You're listening to RatG Radio right here on 103.7 FM CFBU Brock University Radio, or you can be listening live online anywhere in the world at cfbu.ca. And with that, folks, we'll be right back. All right. Welcome back to RatG Radio right here on 103.7 FM CFBU Brock University Radio, or you can be listening live online anywhere in the world at cfbu.ca. That's right, folks. We are on the interweb. We are intergeeks and interwired and interdimensional and interplanetary and interesting. There you go, folks. I'm your host, Ryan Fleming. I put the Ryan in Ryan's All Things Geek along with me this week. My co-host, the one, the only, the green jelly loving man himself, Steve Lambert.
In Bedrock. Twitch.
Again, that's wellandwingnut@gmail.com. Send all your hate mail or all your fan mail there as well, because he will take either or. Yes, we're not going to go there. So it seems John Schneider is pretty upset about that. I'm sure Tom Wopat and the rest of the cast aren't too happy with this, especially Catherine Bach, who probably needs the residuals. Man, like,
She definitely doesn't need any more plastic surgery.
Or meals.
After seeing her at Comic-Con.
Or meals.
Sorry.
No, I don't need to. Oh, could be comments like that got us the no for the interviews. We love you, Catherine.
Yes, we do.
We do. Without you, there'd be no Daisy Dukes, and oh my God, without you, we're going to save that for another night. No, you know what? I really, really hope this. I hope the social outcry that we've garnered against the Dukes being removed is at least going to help other shows like, I don't know, Good Times and All in the Family, and
now is this
even Happy Days, had its.
Is this going to change the future of television and what people write and what people
It already
create?
has. I think it already has. I'm surprised that we have shows like Modern Family around,
on like the most politically correct network there is, ABC, of course, right? Owned by Disney.
Disney, right? It's so hard to say, I think we've already started to head that way. I think, like most things, when stuff like this gets to be new, we have that moment where we go overboard, and then we hit a plateau, and then we get down to the level where we really should be at. And I think we'll get there. I'm hoping it's in our lifetime. And these things, they go usually pretty quick. I figure 10 years we'll probably be out of this and back into a normal way of thinking.
Where is Fox Television when we need them? We need a Married with Children reboot.
You know what? But they're already doing
comeback.
But they're already doing what they've got. They've got The Simpsons. They've got Family Guy. They've got Is American Dad still on, or did it get canceled?
I don't believe no.
And Bob's Burger. They've got these shows that do. They put the pressure on the political correctness button. And they seem to still be thriving.
Yeah.
So it goes to show we still have people out there that have a proper sense of humor.
And that's another thing I remember hearing Seth MacFarlane say is when he writes these episodes so outlandish, so over the top, so offensive that when he gets the script backs from the censor, he's like, "Oh my God, look at that! That one made it.
I can't believe it
oh
made
my
it
God,
in
that
there."
one made it in there too."
Well, at Fox, it's pretty much in Seth we trust, right? But I think you're right. We do need another Married with Children. Something that is just so out there, so offensive in your face that you have no choice but to laugh.
And it was real. It was. As ridiculous as it was at times, it was real. It was
the closest thing to a real family that you had at that time, except for maybe Roseanne. Roseanne was probably the
until
most
she won
accurate.
the lottery.
Yeah, until it was
no one
all
ever
a dream.
wins the lottery.
Well, and then it was all a dream. Remember, at the very end, Dan was dead for years.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
I stopped watching it.
Yeah, well, so did I. I just watched the last episode, and I'm like, really? Dan's been dead this whole time? These last, 3 years? Or whatever?
He was actually the only reason I even really liked the show.
Because he's such a fantastic actor. He is, and I honestly mean this, he is one of the best actors on the planet. And I mean acting. You know, he is a true thespian, which means he's an actor, folks.
And probably one of the single nicest guys I've ever met.
Really?
He actually joined, we did the NBC tour when I was in New York City, and he actually joined our tour.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And is he large in real person?
He is a very
tall.
large stature. Yeah, he was there hosting Saturday Night Live.
Right.
So he was
the
there.
Bears.
And he walked in and decided to join our tour and hung out and shot the wind and
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And it's amazing that you caught yourself there in time. Yeah, no, that's pretty amazing. But like I said, and like you said, we do need this new version. You know, we need this new show that's going to come out and, you know, grab people by the cojones and say, hey, look, this is the way it is now. You know, like, it's time to stop being so overly sensitive to everything. And that's not saying that some people don't have a legitimate beef when it comes to certain things and that they shouldn't go off on their soapboxes. But come on, people, we've got to learn to pick and choose our battles here.
we're becoming politically correct hemophiliacs.
A good way to put that. We're bleeding out all the political correctness of society. Yeah, you know what? It's just, unfortunately, this is just the way it is. I don't know how we stop it. I don't know how we combat it. Maybe it is a new Married with Children type show, but I don't know. And it's weird. Cartoons can get away with it, though. You know, like you watch a show like Archer. Archer is, wow, racism all over the place. And
been doing it for years. I mean,
yeah,
Looney
it's
Tunes.
South Park. It's Looney Tunes. Tom and Jerry.
Some of the most violent cartoons ever.
Well, you look violent and Foghorn Leghorn. Yeah. I say, boy. What did you say?
Well, there she is, boy, all set. Now, where did that bar go? Well, you'll never catch nothing in that contraption. The principle's all wrong.
Those are some of my favorite episodes
Oh,
with
yeah.
the Chicken Hawk.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we're not going to get into that. But yeah, no, it's a crazy little world we're living in, and it is a little over the top. But you know what? It is what it is, and I'm not going to say there's no changing it, because I do believe everything evolves, and we will, like I said, hit that plateau and then echelon off into, you know, the right, where we should be and not be so sensitive. Now we're in our last 10 minutes of the show. And for this last 10 minutes, I just want to, you know, it's summertime. All our shows are off the air now. Starting to get to that point where we're starting to look forward to next season. And what's coming up next season that's like tickling your fancy or that's got you most curious?
You know, obviously, you know, I'm waiting for The Walking Dead to come back. Fear, you know, has spiked my interest.
Fear of
you
the
know.
Walking Dead, yeah.
Yeah.
Which was so well named.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll add the word fear to it.
You know, I'm watching a couple things right now. Under the Dome has come back, and that show, I didn't read the books, and I know it's a lot different from the books because from what I heard, the events of the book only take place over like the course of a week.
Yeah, and
we're already into like week 3 under the dome here on the TV show.
Really, and it's season like 5 or something like that.
Season 3, I think. Yeah. But
so each season's like a week long? Because I've watched the first half of the first season, and then it went on like a hiatus, and I never got back into it.
You know, it's becoming lost for me. I don't like it anymore, but I'm in for the
Too
long
invested.
haul now. You know, so that and Orange is the New Black. I'm still making my way through that.
I'm hearing this season isn't the greatest so far.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I heard it's a pretty.
I'm about halfway through right now,
I heard
and
it's lacking.
It's very lull.
That's too bad because it had a lot of critical acclaim, and being a big Trek fan,
cleaned up at the Emmys last year.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, me being a big Trek fan and being like Voyager being one of my favorites, I just love seeing Kate Mulgrew having a resurgence.
Who's going to be at Fan Expo?
I know. I'm working on that one. We definitely want to have our presence felt there. Honestly, this year for Fan Expo and hopefully Hamilton Comic-Con.
The Hammer.
The Hammer. We're just waiting to hear back from them about some media passes. Not that we're trying to bring it up or anything.
The greatest con in the region.
Hamilton
Con.
It is by far the greatest and our personal favorite con of all cons until Fan Expo hits. And then that one is our absolute complete favorite con ever.
Until June, of course, when our hometown con.
Niagara Falls Comic-Con, which is obviously
the greatest con ever.
Well, honestly, the greatest con of all time is, Barry Bonds. Too soon? All right. What else anything else you're looking forward to? You're not too much into the superhero stuff as much as we are for the TV shows.
Not in years past. I mean, I try and watch the big ones, obviously.
Like Flash and Arrow.
The movies I'm looking forward to, obviously Superman versus Batman.
Did you see the pictures that were just released this week, too?
I have not.
Oh, my gosh. I know I'm in the minority here, but oh, my God, am I ever looking forward to this movie. There's some things that have me a little weary, like the fact that they describe Wayne Manor as tattered, beat down, neglected over time. So what's going on with Bruce Wayne? Is Wayne Industries still around? Even though, we see no Wayne satellite up in orbit in Man of Steel.
Actually, I just finally got to watch. I missed the beginning, but I finally seen Man of Steel about 2 weekends ago. I caught probably about 3/4 of it.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
I didn't like it, but I didn't hate it.
No, and I could see that. With me, it was just he's so unlike Superman.
Yeah.
Just so
the action sequence were insane.
Yeah. Well, it's Zack Snyder, of course. The action is going to be great and over the top. That's what he does. That's what he excels in. But I think the dark motif they went after just doesn't work with Superman. I think they tried to make Superman too much like Batman.
Yeah, and there's that.
And they're supposed to be polar opposites.
Yeah,
like polar opposites. He's supposed to be the symbol of hope, and Batman's supposed to be the symbol of you're going to get your butt whooped, basically. And that's the one thing I didn't find with Henry Cavill. You never look at him and get that sense of hope, that sense of it's going to be okay, it's going to be all right. Of course, everyone goes back to Christopher Reeves because no one played Superman better. Let's just call a spade a spade. But then you look at guys like Dean Cain and The Adventures of Lois and Superman. He had Superman down pat too because he had that hope. He had that smile about him that, no matter what was going on, you were like, oh, okay, Superman's got this. Brandon Routh had that. Superman Returns was a horrible movie, but he was a great Superman, I thought. But it's just one of those things. I'm not a Cavill guy at all either. I've seen the Man of Steel. I've seen what's the other one he did, the one with all the Greek gods.
Passion of the Christ.
Close.
Not Caviezel. I always get those two guys mixed up.
Me too.
Jim Caviezel.
Except for not at all. I forget what it was, but he was just horrible in it. And then he's coming out with a new movie called Man from U.N.C.L.E., the remake. Where for some reason he's not the British guy in it though. Right.
Well, maybe they'll cast an Aussie.
No, Armie Hammer.
Oh.
Arnie Hammer, who played the Lone Ranger, who is another one of my not very favorite actors.
You're talking about the most recent
really
movie.
bad Johnny Depp one.
Yes.
Yeah. That guy who played the Lone Ranger is so bad of an actor. It's not that he's a bad actor. He's very 50s style actor, very deliberate. You can tell he's acting. And I don't like when you watch a guy and you know they're acting. He was in the Snow White movie Mirror Mirror as well.
Oh, okay.
And he was in The Social Network. He played the twins that originally came up with.
We're trying to sue.
Yeah. And he was okay there. He was okay there. I didn't mind him there. But everything else I've ever seen him in, it just does not do it for me at all. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say The Man from U.N.C.L.E. is going to be a big box office flop. And it's not going to sweep up at award season either. Like I said, I'm really going out on the line there. So for me, though, I'm really looking forward to Flash, like everybody else is, of course. I want to see where they head into the season. I want to see what new heroes they bring in. Legends of Tomorrow. I can't wait to see that one as well. That's the spinoff from Flash and Arrow. We've got Rip Hunter, which is was the guy that played Rory in Doctor Who, is leading that team up. You're going to have Hawk Girl on the team. You're going to have Captain Cold. You're going to have Firestorm on there, Heat Wave, and White Canary. The girl that played Black Canary, Sarah Lance, has been resurrected, but she won't be Black Canary. She'll be White Canary, which is strange because in the comic books that was an assassin and a bad person, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, nothing matters anymore.
Right. Nothing is sacred. No. Nothing is sacred. And even get into that, and we talked about it a little bit last week, but the whole, we're talking about the political correctness, and it's seeping into Marvel now. Whereas Marvel was great for casting movies based on the actual comics, and people always want to point at Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury and say, oh, well, Nick Fury is white in the comic books. Well, he's not in the Ultimate Universe, which has been out since 2000. So that's 15 years of canon that Nick Fury's Samuel L. Jackson.
And it's Sam L. Jackson, so it doesn't matter. So
right,
back off.
Right? You saw Ted 2, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, no.
Was Liam Neeson not awesome?
Liam Neeson was great. Like, I don't understand why he was in the movie, but he was just fantastic. He's so intense.
Tricks are for kids, just so you know.
They really are. That was a really bad Liam Neeson. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, folks. We try sometimes. But yeah. So, yeah, that's basically what I'm looking forward to. There's a few movies that'll be coming out too. But we are basically at the end of our show. So just want to send some shout outs to everyone who contributed today. Guys, yeah, let's get over this politically correctness already. You know what? Treat each other good. Mind your own business about
Bill Maher for president.
Bill Maher. Well, I love Bill Maher and I love the Bill Maher show, but I say let's go Neil deGrasse Tyson and Bill Nye, the science guy, for president and vice president, and let's just get along, folks. That's all we have to do, honestly. So thanks, Steve, for coming out.
Yeah, no worries.
Thanks, Goldie, for videotaping us as you do from week to week. Thanks to all of you for listening. Thanks to Black Majic for playing us out every week as they do. Go look their music up on iTunes. You can find our hit song up there. And aside from that, folks, I just want to say thanks so much for listening. Hope you guys have a great one, and we will see you all next week. We are out.
Black Majic. You got to know, got to show.